What's up guys, I hope you all are doing well for its starting price of $1,800. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 doesn't offer anything too big or fresh over its predecessor. But nonetheless, it's arguably the most incredible smartphone for tech enthusiasts and Android power users to date, with its many empowering multitasking features. Stylus support, big and beautiful folding display, and respectable battery life, the Z Fold 4 can not only be a phone in your pocket and a tablet in your hands, but even your PC replacement. Although the Z Fold 4 keeps the same 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM as its predecessor, we now have the new flagship Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor on board. The camera situation has changed a bit too, as the Z Fold 4 now basically rocks the Samsung Galaxy S22's camera setup, which features higher specs for the wide and ultra-wide cameras, plus a telephoto shooter with 3x optical zoom instead of 2x. The battery stays at 4,400 mAh, which might not seem like a lot for such a large phone, but we'll get to that later. And last but not least, although it's not obvious by looking at the specs, the folding display's aspect ratio has been changed a tiny bit, making it shorter and a tad wider than before, when folded. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 is a candy bar-shaped phone that, as my niece commented when she first saw it, looks like two phones glued together. It's not notably thinner than its predecessors, although it is technically the lightest Z Fold to date. At just 263 grams, 9.28 ounces. It feels very premium and substantial in the hand. And since Samsung has managed to reduce its hinge bulge and the outer display's bezels, it looks better than ever, as the Z Fold 4's name suggests, and surely you know, you can fold and unfold this phone, and, well, it takes a bit of effort to unfold it. You don't really have a spot to stick your finger in and start pulling the two halves apart. So you better have some nails, and you better not be sweaty, as the Z Fold's frames can get a bit slippery. At least in the insane heat that I'm currently living in. Also, there can be a slight creaking sound when unfolding it still, although that's rare. You get used to all that. But surely it's not the peak of what a foldable experience can be. The color options for the Z Fold 4 are called grey-green, phantom black, beige, and burgundy, with the latter being exclusive to Samsung.com. The new colors look really nice in person. The green one in particular stands out as really classy, and Samsung mentioned that cases in the same colors will be available for purchase as well. Let's start with the smaller outer display, aka cover display, before we unfold this beast. We have a tall 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED screen capable of up to 120 Hz refresh rate. What does all that mean? It means Samsung didn't skimp on the outer display, it's super smooth. And the fact that it's AMOLED means solid blacks, vibrant colors, and a generally beautiful experience when using it. But let's talk about display feel. The Z Fold 4's flexible display still feels a tad softer than an average glass screen, as we could have expected, but it's worth noting it nonetheless. It does support two S Pen styluses, the S Pen Fold Edition and the S Pen Pro, so obviously it won't scratch easily, say, from your fingernails. You can press it and poke it pretty hard with zero issues. There is a visible screen protector applied to the display, with corners that don't fully reach the display's edges. It's not even perfectly centered, and as we've learned from prior experiences, you shouldn't remove it. So that's just a part of the display. There's a main 50-megapixel wide camera with optical image stabilization, OIS, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto with OIS and 3x optical zoom. Combined with digital zoom, the zoom game on the Z Fold 4 raises up to 30x 12x in video mode, and the results are actually pretty good. Let's check those out. We took the Z Fold 4 for a few spins on beautiful, sunny days, taking camera shots in perfect lighting, and the results are more than apartment. The bright skies look great, clouds are detailed and color correct, no overexposure. Details in the people, buildings and vegetation we captured are sharp and clear, colors are accurate. In some rare cases, some more difficult shots did result in overexposure, but it's nothing deal-breaking. Well, sometimes. In bright scenes there is a visible color banding-like effect on selfies taken from it. So it's not seeing perfectly well through the pixels just yet, but check the results for yourself and let us know what you think. Following are our selfie camera samples. Taken with both of the Z Fold 4 selfie cameras, if you're a gamer. Which by the way this phone is perfect for. You'll be happy to know that even heavy 3D games run fine at their highest settings. And since we have a 120Hz AMOLED display and dual stereo speakers, those games will look big and beautiful. And sound big too. But don't let that fool you, this phone is no slouch when it comes to the battery life. For example, in our YouTube playback battery benchmark, where we basically stream YouTube videos until the battery dies, the Z Fold 4 lasted nearly 9 hours. Check out all of our battery benchmarks below to see what you can expect for different use cases, in terms of charging. The Z Fold 4 comes with 25W wired charging support, which can deliver 50% charge in roughly 30 minutes, with a compatible 25W Samsung adapter. Samsung doesn't give you a charger out the box, by the way. So you'll have to get one separately. We also have 10W wireless charging, which is convenient and nice to see on a foldable in general. However, if you're not a die-hard tech enthusiast, or you already have a Z Fold 3, spending $1,800 or more on this phone might not be worth it. Before you pull the trigger on this purchase, make sure that you'll really take advantage of everything this phone has to offer. Otherwise, just get a small tablet, which would certainly be much lighter on the wallet. Thanks for watching till end and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe my channel.